Oh, the day after the Red Sox win the World Championship. Can you believe it? Let's go upstairs. Here we are up on top of the span that we're working on. Full moon in the background. I-93 North in the background coming off the Segmental. And getting ready to get set up to launch this truss on this east side here behind Billy Egan. Billy Egan. Billy's worked on this Segmental precast. How many years, Billy? 4 years? 4 years. All the stuff that's over here he worked on for Martin. All these other precast roadways. Norman Morley says he's retiring next month after 42 years in the business. Norman's got 2 brothers, a son, a son-in-law, and a nephew in the business. It's a long day. In the background, you see a pair bracket assembly right there. It sits on top of the columns. That's where the truss will get launched to. And after we launch the second truss, we'll erect some more stone on top of it. That weighs about 40 ton, I think, the operator told me. Completely assembled. Here you're going to look at the 999 Manitowoc crane. Workhorse. Operator Tommy, Oiler Mark down there, getting ready to start their day. This is the C bracket that the truss rolls on this, and it's connected down below. The truss is connected down below, and it's picked up off the pair bracket down below, and it rides, the end of the truss rides on this. Here's the boss, Jimmy O'Donnell. Here he is, the man up here. He's been doing this Segmental precast for probably, I think, 6 years with Martin. Again, on the other side there, in this area. Oh, tons and tons of, thousands of pieces of precast that make up these roadways. Coming off the Zakin Bridge. The Zakin Bridge is right over here. The widest cable stay suspension bridge, the widest, I think, in the country, they say. There's a view of the C bracket from underneath the truss. See how it's hard to see, but it's tied into the top cord of the truss up there. So it's actually holding up this end. And that's how it's able to travel on the cart upstairs. Norman and I are going to touch down these quarter powers that are just stabilizing the truss there. And then it'll be kind of like suspended on this end and ready for the launch. Jack up the ram here, release the lock ring. Okay, I think that's it. Back that off. And we'll let this jack down, this ram down. These are the safety lines we have up here. Tie off to. You're going to have a harness. And now we're going to back down the ram here. Just take a little pry to release the jack here, the ram, I can call it a jack. It's a jack or a ram, or 100 tonner, I think.
50 ton.
100 ton capacity. Kind of hydraulic fluid is kind of cold, and it's hard to get things rolling here. It's got it, a little force. Back it all the way down. We'll do the same to the other one. Before we put this truss on the seat bracket, the seat bracket upstairs, we were sitting down on these bearing pads here, these bearing plates, and so we jacked it up, put it back on the seat bracket up on top, and as soon as we left this jack down, we're ready to roll. Live trains below us here, orange line going to Boston. See the truss swinging now that it's freed up on this end here. It's a shot of the Hillman roller assembly. These trusses roll on when needed. And looking towards the north is the other end of the truss. And all the precast above that was sitting on the truss, now it's hanging by its 10 tendons that were stressed to hold up the span forever, hopefully. It's a good look at the top of the column, pier capital. See how the pier bracket assembly kind of hangs off the top of it here. Same thing on the other side. Are we ready to roll, Norm?
Ready to roll, mister.
Okay. Norman says we're ready to roll. Take a good look at all the precast that they put up again, tons of it. This whole north side of the central artery is all brand new. All these roadways, replacing the old I-93 double-decker roadway. And now we're going to get on the other end, and we're going to get ready to launch the truss. Here's a good shot of the pier bracket assembly, showing the ends of the truss supported on it. Both trusses, actually. These trusses are about 200 feet long, and they weigh about 85 ton each. You can see how the columns coming down are bolted. Those bolts are holding the assembly. And we got the same thing on the other side. The planks up there that we work off of, we're just over there. And we see the 999 here getting in position to make this pick, make the launch. Brian Fitzgerald, journeyman iron worker, with Ronnie Kegel, his partner, in the background. And Ronnie Williams, first-year apprentice, with that big strap. And you got Ray Smith, the general foreman, right here. Ray oversees all aspects of this whole operation. And Larry Morin. Larry's principal job is to assemble and disassemble the pier brackets, keep that operation going, among other duties. Foreman for Saugus. That's great. And there's the oiler mark. Tommy, the 999. See the cable that's attached up there. That's going to pull the truss, and there's a cherry picker in the background, way in the background, that pulls that line to make the truss go laterally, and Tommy's going to take the weight with his crane. Fine-tuning the location of the crane here so we can make this pick. Ray, what's the capacity of this crane in this configuration?
240 tons.
240 tons?
220.
This is 275.
275.
275? Okay. Just curious.
A billion tons. Alright, so which way now? Walk that one, keep it over a little more.
Kind of critical that you get this crane in the right place so it's within capacity and it can do the job. Look at the truss, going from there all the way over to there. What's your job here, Brian? What are you gonna be doing? Re-rig? Yeah. Jump it down for another pull, right? Yep. That's what Brian's going to be doing with his partner. Alright, so now we're inside the span here. This is what it looks like inside the span. It goes all the way back to the Zakem Bridge, which is, I don't know, a quarter of a mile away. Guessing. Couple of thousand feet, 1,500, couple of thousand feet, I don't know. And you can see the tendons that contain, most of them contain 19 wires, 7-strand wires that go through each of these black tubes, and they go, each span has these. Some you can't see, they're in the precast down below and on top of us. But they go through these blisters right here, which are very big chunk of concrete that kind of is strong enough to hold up the segments, you know. These tubes are full of grout. They pump grout into these tubes, so the wires are waterproof and weatherproof. They're the heads of the tendons going the other way. And the wedges are inside there that hold each strand of wire. As our final destination is this beam right here. There's a good look at the cherry picker that's going to pull the cable. It's all the way down to this point here. And the cable runs through the snatch block, and it goes up to another snatch block, and it pulls the line that's connected to the truss here. And it'll take a couple of pulls to get it to where the triple nine's going to pick it up. Okay, Ray says we're ready to roll, yeah? We're going to start moving this truss. Upload. 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 Time to go now. See it moving now. actually rolling downstairs on these Hillman rollers assemblies, which are right here. And we have to wait for the train to go by. We can't move the truss while the train's moving below us. Flagmen tell us when to stop. Norman, how's it look? Keeping an eye on the rollers down there, make sure they don't get hung up. Hard to see shooting into the sun like this, but the guys are right there keeping an eye on the cart, making sure it stays on the line, doesn't wander off the span up there. They can steer it by pulling on the come-alongs and pulling, twisting that seat bracket whichever way they have to twist it, make it go straight. The other end is suspended off of that. Other end of the truss, suspended off that seat bracket. See, the cherry picker is pulled it as far as it can. Now we have to re-grab the truss, re-hook it up, so we get another pull. Ronnie and Kegel and Brian Fitzgerald have disconnected the rigging, and they're going to bring it all the way back here and hook it up again so we can get another pull. You can see Ryan is the boom lift master, maneuvering that boom lift into position. Ronald Kegel. We're going to hook up this hook right here. Right here. I got to have my gloves on.
All right?
Norman's bundled up with this 40-degree frigid weather.
Give it a bridge clamp to Johnny. Norman.
We'll put the bridge clamp on to keep the hook in place. All right, we got our hooks on, huh? Now you can see that we've moved the other end off the pair bracket. And there's Larry Morin and Ronnie Williams in their basket. They're going to hook up the 999 to the truss. Now that the truss is close enough to the 999, so we can pick it. That's a good look at the Hillman rollers that we use to set the stone on, the precast pieces on, and get to roll them in position and move them back and forth as needed to line them up. They're all packed up right now for this launch. Brian putting getting ready to tie off to the truss. You're going to be tied off here to go out there to hook up the truss. nuts and the main load here. I think. Looks like it. Kevlar straps, pretty strong. It's all hooked up, so now the 999's going to take some of the weight here. Can't go too far launching it without hooking up the 999 or it'll fall right off, you know. Go past the fulcrum. You gotta get the 999 on it. Pick up this end of it, set it down on the other pair bracket. We're still going to use the cherry picker to help pull it along. There's Larry tagging the 999 crane operator. A little tricky to pull down, hold the load, and swing and everything else. Haven't got much clearance here. You can't go up too high. You're going to hit that concrete right there with the carts. Larry's going to land the end of the truss on that gear bracket assembly so we can rehook it back a little further. We're going to go another about 25 feet anyway to complete the launch. See Rusty Lampron, labor. Orange hot hat working with Billy Egan and Jimmy O'Donnell. Some blocking in between the couple of these precast segments here. These two guys steered the C bracket all the way down here, kept it on a nice straight line. All right. Rehook the 999 up, like I said, one more time, and see if we can get in for a close-up. All hooked up. Complete the launch now. About another 20 feet to go. Okay, Jimmy's gonna pull it, fine tune it. It'll come along rather than use the crane so we don't go too far. going to pull the truss towards us, line it up with these bearing plate here. We're going to jack the truss up off the seat bracket, and then we'll set it down on these bearing plates. Use these jacks right here.
Come on, let me take this off. Once you put this in there, I'll have to take it off, alright?
This is an electric pump here. Billy upstairs is telling him which side to bring up first, keep it even. Get off that seat bracket, take the bolts out. And start lowering the truss down onto the bearing plates there. Like a half circle, spherical shape that fits inside a concave, fitting inside a convex plate. And the weight of it just keeps the truss from sliding off this pair bracket, that's all. And that pretty much completes this. While we're doing our end, Larry and his gang are doing the same thing down the other end. Landing it on the bearings down the other end there. And this one truss is considered launched. One down, one more to go. Same thing with the other truss, all ready for precast. And here we are early Sunday morning. Sunday didn't work Saturday. Red Sox parade. Too much traffic around here. So the cannons come in on Sunday, and you can see the other truss has been launched. And the jacks are in place. And on the rollers, ready to erect some precast. The crane can only boom down so far before it hits that column right ahead of us, so we have to land some of these segments on rollers at the point where the crane can reach the furthest, and then roll them all the way down to meet the existing precast here. And here comes the first section of precast. Got 16 of these to set today, 50 ton each. Means 800 ton precast sits on these trusses. Once the crane gets up above these trusses, it crawls forward about 25, 30 feet anyway, which is pretty amazing that a crane can hold 50 ton and up high like this and walk forward. I'll make sure the ground is nice and level down there. You see we got plates down there to level up the catch when they get that far. Shot of the operator, Tommy. So we got a lifting frame on here. It's the ice pretty well straight up. The eyes don't bend in when you hook them up like they sometimes otherwise would, but frame, lifting jig. Fits right over the eyes on the precast, the lifting eyes. And we touch it down on the jacks here. Good. And then we're going to cut it loose. Alright, we just disconnected the shackles here. Send the lifting jig back for another stone. Alright, we're hooking up the rigging to pull the piece. Norman's got the end of the electric hoist line. Larry's operating the hoist from way down there. We're going to get set to pull the piece in. Meantime, they're hooking up another one. Rusty and Norman. Get set to hook it up. Kelly waiting for the precast so he can put his rods in. And we're ready to roll the first stone of the morning in. See how it rolls on these Hillman rollers here. There it goes. These jacks are used for leveling the stone later when we get down there to adjust it with the others. Big line on here to make sure we can control it in case it gets going too fast. And Larry way back there operating the electric hoist. With his line. The line on his side as well. And now Billy Egan and Matt Kelly will be putting in the temporary Dewey Dag bars. When we glue these sections together, we put the nuts and washers on these bars, and then we stretch them and tighten up the section. So every section is connected to the previous one. But these are temporary. These come out after we put the tendons through and stress them. Then we take these bars out. They're only temporary. You can see the C bracket right there, that gray iron. It's disconnected from the cart behind Larry there because the truss has been launched, and now we just lower the truss down on the column bearings below. So that C bracket is only used when it's riding on that cart and holding up the end of the truss to launch it. Now that the bars are in, we're going to bring the stone tight to the other. And we'll get another Hunker precast. And the Ronda's got another section ready for us here. And this will continue on all day till we have all 16 pieces up. Rolled in our 4th stone for the day. And they got another one on the hook. See Ray and Ronnie through the grating maybe, coming out off the ladder. Hard to see through the truss. But they just hooked up the 5th stone for the day. Ronnie Kegel on the tagline. Making sure the precast segment comes up nice and square. And Rusty takes it from here.
Is it backward?
Every once in a while, one comes up backwards. Spin it up here, so Larry's tagging the crane through the radio. The operator can't see behind the other column there. You can see the blind. And we can tell him what he needs to do. Hang on to that, yeah. And now it's workways. Cut it loose now. It's like the choker came off that small hook. Chokers are really kind of big for that small hook. Get a couple of halves, be better. hoist. Holds the stone. Billy putting a temporary bar in. And he's got this side. Hey, Matty, got any Barry Manilow ditties for us? Now that the bars are in, we're going to draw it closer. Okay, we are there. That's what you said? Okay. All right. Addie and Billy waiting for the next one. More the Hillman roller setups up for the truss. monument. Charlestown. Tobin Bridge in the background. Yeah, USS Constitution in the back of the buildings there. Old North Church. Coffee break time here. Red Sox won the World Series a couple of days ago. The 11th stone of the day. Matty Kelly in action. Billy Egan on the impact ramp. Yo-yo, whatever you want to call it. Out the cable on one of the drums, maybe a bad wrap or something. Crane inspector lost 2 fingers on this crane at the beginning of the job. Had his fingers in the wrong place when they were inspecting the cable. Chopped up, crushed 2 fingers. They get amputated. You see Mark repacking the drum, making sure the cable's laying in there properly. Jumps a wrap, jar the boom, the boom will jump, the jar, you don't want to stress on it. So he's banging the cable tight as the operator rolls the drum. It happens from time to time after bad wrap on the boom drum, I think. It's actually a bad wrap on the hoist cable. And that's the last one for today, number 15. 750 tons of precast erected here, 6.5 hours. Right, here we are on the catwalk on the west side. See that we've lined the precast segments that we erected the other day to this point. Set them all to the right height, elevation, and got them east to west in line nice. We use these 100-ton jacks to raise them up and down. Looking to the north, these are the ones that aren't lined up. These are the ones that we're working on. We have to get them ready in the right position so we can pull them together and glue them. Put the temporary Dewey dag bars in to hold them. See, we're getting a net ready here. Drop the net down through so the epoxy doesn't drip down on anybody below us. A lot of people want to know why we do this reinforced concrete precast. The IronWorker erects precast. It's a structural building component. It carries traffic, just like the steel beams do that we sometimes erect to carry traffic. We worked with the labor on this particular project because a lot of grouting that gets done here, and epoxying, and a lot of things that laborers traditionally do. So we work together with them to complete this these roadways and this segmental precast. And Norman mixing up the 2-part epoxy, and we're going to spread in the precast. How many minutes? Norman, how many minutes?
3 minutes.
3? Okay. Jimmy spreading the epoxy. The whole face of this stone gets covered with this. Billy and
This is going to be the messiest job here. It's glue. It's off.
It's all over your clothes. Doesn't come off. Andy and Billy inside. Messiah putting the finishing touches of epoxy on this stone here. Ready to draw it together now. A couple of 1.5-ton come-alongs, all it takes to roll this together. And now they'll put the rods in and suck it together real tight. Squeeze the 2 segments together real tight. We got 3 bars here, you do?
3 bars.
3 bars? Yeah.
Top ones are at 58,000, 5,800, and the bottom one's at 38.
38, okay. Different PSI on the jack. And you can see the epoxy dripping in the background. It's all squeezing out. Once a week we have to bring the porta-johns down, have them pumped out. Bring it back up on the stand for the guys. Back to life. A shot of Bobby Manzi, the engineer, checking the stone alignment, see if it's right on line and see if the elevation is correct. And it's his partner, Mark McManus, reading the transit, giving him the information. Tells us what we have to do with this segment. Up and down, back and forth, put in the right place. Ray Smith and Jimmy O'Donnell, the foreman, discussing the job. Ray's the general foreman. Jimmy's in charge of the precast up here. Today's election day. And Matty's swabbing out the holes that need to be kept clean from the epoxy. My partner on the other end there. What are you doing, Matty?
Put the bar on. No, there's coupling on the bar.
Coupling on the bar. Draw the next stone together.
Bottom line.
Bobby, how is it? How is it?
Another Saugus. First down.
All set? Height's good? All right.
What's going?
What's next, Johnny, is basically I single-handedly put these piles together. All the guys like to say it's a team effort. Not so. No me. Real stuff, Johnny. Let's face it. Fighting. Get that, Johnny?
We got it, Matty. Get ready to roll the next stone in. Closer to, get it ready to be, same thing, glued, elevated. On down the line we go. Now, this is how we push it east and west. Use these mortar powers to push the jack and frame. Use it pretty well. And while we're erecting the precast, the pier bracket assembly crew is taking down the other pier bracket so they can set it up on the next column coming up. Other parts are on the ground there. They're taking down the columns that are hanging from the concrete column there. Pulling down on that beam, pulls it down, holds it level, the beam way up here, and that beam is hooked onto the columns so that when they take it out, the column out, it won't just fall right out of there. It's kind of like balanced, like a seesaw on the other end of that beam right there. Setting up the strands of cable that we're going to send through the precast and stress to hold up the segments. That's the next phase of this operation. Inside the span we just erected, and we're putting in the black pipe. Black pipe connects the, well actually it's a raceway for the tendons to go through, all the way through the span and out the other side where they're anchored, well they'll be pulled on that side, pulled tight, stressed, and on this end they'll be wedged. Alright, now we're going to get ready to set the cable up so it can get pushed through. the span. So the wire comes off the spool through that black tube, and this pusher right here, hydraulic electrical pusher, pushes the tendon through this black pipe. It's around the corner, goes through this pipe, and goes right straight through the span. Norman's hooking up the final connection, which is the black pipe. That's the route that the cable takes, is it? Comes off the reel and goes through the span. All right, the final connection was made.
It's coming over.
And we're going to start sending the cable through to this point. Jimmy up there operating the equipment that pushes the cable hydraulically. And needs a little more push. Up.
Yeah, it's got to go in more.
That's it.
Nice.
Got a rubber bullet on the plastic bullet on the end of the cable. Norman's going to put some tape on there, and they're going to send it through.
The cans and the closure board for the tendons. We got 19 cables here, 14 cables over here, 12 cables over here. And the only thing that holds the cans in place is a $3 roll of duct tape. Imagine that.
Where would
$1 million project.
Where would this world be without duct tape?
Where would this world be without duct tape? $1 million job.
He's taping.
Duct tape.
Yep. And this is to get the tendons through the closure pore, and so the concrete doesn't affect them. Billy's got to do that in 4 places down this end, right?
4 places at this end, 4 at the other end, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom.
Okay. This is the hole that the first tendon's going to come through, and there'll be 19 in total through this one hole, and they're all going to have, all these holes will be full of tendons by the time we get done. And when Jimmy gets ready, he's going to send it through. This is short of the span we erected, and the through which we're going to send the cables. You see how the black pipe is tied up to support the weight of the cables coming through. Once the cables are stressed. Okay, Jimmy, all set. Send it.
They're coming nice and easy.
Once the cables are stressed, that rope won't be needed. You can hear the cables start to come through. Coming into the expansion joint here, 1 of 6 on the span. Jimmy. Alright, he's just starting to come through. He just bump it a little bit more. That's alright. Alright, that's good. You got about 1.5 foot, Jimmy. You're about 3 inches away from the other head coming the other way.
How much off the other head, John?
You're about 3 inches off the other head.
I hit it, John. Then back off. You get the lump of it.
Alright, coming ahead. That's it. You're in tight now. Back it off a touch. Now you're back to where you started from. 3 inches away. Now you're less. I should say you got less sticking through. You're about 10 inches away from the other head. That looks good. You're about 1 inch away from the other head.
Go with that, huh?
I think that should be good. You got about 1.5 foot, 20 inches coming through.
Alright, I'll try to slow the other ones down right before I get there and go too easy. The last few I may suck up some bullets, you know what I mean?
All right, Jimmy. Cut it there. that tendon. Put another bullet on the other one. Through next. Tape it up. We'll do this 18 times, more times. And we have 19 stuff to match. And then we'll do the rest of the tubes. At the pin. Bracket gang down there, setting up the other pin for the next column coming up. And that's what one tendon looks like when it's in the pipe. No, this is not a spaceship. This is actually the stressing jack. It's going to pull these cables tight. We got Jimmy O'Donnell and Billy Egan going to put this jack on the strands here. The tendon, they call it. And we're going to pull these wires to the correct amount of tension so that we can support the precast. Randy is the DSI representative, Randy, the white hard hat. Make sure that these tendons are pulled to the proper specifications. We just had a problem with this jack. It was not lined up all the way through. Something got turned. Adjust it up on top. Now we're going to try it. See if it goes on better. This is really a very critical part of this whole thing here. Making sure that these are done right. Nice. That's going to work just fine. That's good. Now we're going to hook the hoses up. Hydraulic hoses. Got the gauge. Put the gauge on. This jack grabs these tendons and basically just pulls them real tight. And once they're tight, there's another part of the jack that pushes the plate on as secret wedges. The wedges are, see if we can see some wedges here. Zoom into this. Let's see.
Over 1220.
I know wedges are a little around. There they are. The wedges are right there. They're going to get seated with the jack. All these tendons tight. You can actually see the jack move as it pulls the wires. So we just pulled these to 10%. Jimmy made a mark. 20%, I should say. And you're going how far now? 60, 40? Right, we just pulled them to 20%. You mark the tendon, and now you're going to pull them all the way to 6,040. And measure how much of a stretch you got. Usually around 8 or 9 inches. Norman had to stop off at around 5,000. Now I'm going to seat the wedges and then take another stroke, bring it all the way up to 6,000. Now he's seating the wedges. He's already seated the wedges. Now the jack is going to take another pull on these. Checking this. All right, now that the tendon has been stressed properly, put the jack on. And go to the next one. Alright, this is the 12-strand jack we're using here. Part about stressing these tendons, I think, is putting the tendons lining up with the holes in the stressing jack. Each strand has to go in a separate hole. Randy, how long have you been with DSI?
About 12 years.
12?
Well, you ready on the button, mister?
Randy lives in the Tampa area. Goes all over the country to different jobs. DSI. take another pull with it. Can't take it all one shot. The ram is only so long, you know. How much stretch, Jimmy? How much stretch you get out of these cables, Mike?
Oh, 9.
9 inches? You actually stretch the cables 9 inches beyond tight. Now we're going to retract the jack and take another pull. Randy says it wasn't seated. Check the connection up top, not seating properly. Going back to the other one there. And so it goes till we get all 10 tendons stressed. And you can jack down the truss. I'll take the jacks out from underneath the precast. Move on to the next one. Like that torch, you're going to cut them. Larry and Ronnie taking off the lifting eyes. Tomorrow we're going to be jacking down these jacks right here, and this span will be hanging on the post tension cables, tendons, and we'll launch the trusses and do it all over again. That pretty much wraps up Segmental precast.